Fuck his feelings.
Yeah.
What about the guns?
I mean, we're rolling.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
we're going.
Like rolling loud, baby.
Oh yeah, we're
Can you
live.
edit?
Yeah, we can.
Just
We
not-
didn't
once you
have
get
to
going,
before.
though. Once you
Yeah.
go, though,
I mean, I just started like a minute ago.
Yeah.
Started our conversation. That new bill with the teachers though, that's nuts. That is insane.
I agree and disagree with it.
You know what the problem is? Is like those dudes are so underpaid, and now you're gonna task them with if a shooter comes in, not only do you have to protect the kids, now you're gonna be legally obligated to do it. Like, that's nuts.
They already don't got resources, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's kind of like wild to put that on them. Like, I know most teachers don't really like that one, I don't think.
Mm-mm.
If you asked, and
No.
if you see, I've seen I've seen that like years before this. You've seen everyone's take on that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think that's a wild one.
I'm
I think
torn.
every school, though, should have maybe a few people qualified. Why is
Yeah.
that so hard to ask? You got 40, 50 adults in there and
Right.
gun rates in this country?
Yeah.
That would make sense to me.
I mean,
That's
I
on
think
people to do it if they want to do it.
right. Yeah, I
Shouldn't
mean,
be like mandated.
no.
Nothing forced that way.
You should have the freedom though.
I'm more interested in seeing what kind of precautions they take on that, because that's very iffy, right? Because I'm for it, because I feel like teachers definitely should have guns in some instances, but like, how do you protect that? How do you protect a kid from not going into a teacher's drawer and just boom, now a kid's got a gun, right? Obviously locks, but like, how much can you trust the teacher to always keep that thing locked?
Right.
Now, what about the fight or flight, sense that comes in?
Mm-hmm.
Where like in horror movies where the blonde bitch is out there with the keys, they're jiggling it into and
These people
drop
aren't
it.
professionals.
And you know what I mean? And at the end
Right.
of the day, how they're not going to be like active shooters in the school,
Mm-hmm.
bro. You are on go mode. You like unless you're truly trained. So now that's another thing. How do you train these teachers? Do you have to get them in
Right.
with either law enforcement or military, whatever you want to go from there? But that also costs money. So now you got to pay money just to train these teachers. So
Money
like
they
it's
already
really,
don't have.
you know what I mean? So it's like really
The never-ending
interesting.
cycle.
It's really interesting to see how they're gonna play that out.
Because I mean, all schools are gun-free zones, so how are you going to do that? And then
Exactly,
especially in
that's
Ohio, where
it.
now it's constitutional carry, that's gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's gonna happen after that?
Yeah. Me and Logan were talking about this all week, like anticipating this, and same with Markham and Mike and shit. Like everybody's been thinking about this, especially with what's just happening. I mean, there was like the last few days, there's been like 5 to 10 more like big shootings. I think there's one today at like a hospital.
Oh yeah,
something
yeah.
like that. Like
Is it Oklahoma or something?
yeah,
like that?
Tulsa, I think it was. So
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
like every day there's a mass shooting, but then you see what happens. I think last weekend in Chicago they got 40 people shot, but nobody's really calling that like
Over
a mass
Memorial Day
shooting. You know what I
weekend.
mean? Yeah, multiple people walking at their house, wherever the hell they're at, and it's, I don't know, it just doesn't make sense to me. It just really doesn't, the whole definition of it.
Right.
But that's, there's just a lot going on these last few weeks,
Yeah.
all for a reason.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that like one happens and then the next domino falls and then the next one falls and then the next one comes
Mhm.
right after.
Also see what they report on as well.
Oh yeah.
They choose to report on some things.
Yeah.
Depends who the shooter is, who the victims are,
Right.
where it takes place.
Yeah.
You know, what circumstances there are, what was his ideology, what was his political beliefs, what do you have online, what did people know him for, like there's just certain ones that always stick to you. And I remember like when we were young, we always heard about like the Columbine one, and then when we were little, like 10, 11 years old, there was like Virginia Tech, and then it's just like every couple years there's that bad one where it's like, oh my god.
Sent
And
us
now-
over the rails.
Right, and now you just had one that was just like that. And now there was two really, that Buffalo one that was real graphic. We seen video of it, remember?
Yeah.
We went on Twitter and we seen video of the guy's point of view going after all these people. I mean, that was sick stuff, dude.
I mean, now like my question is like, what's the best compromise? Because like this is like something I've always struggled with is, let's just say, hypothetically, we do raise the age from. Let's start from the beginning. I think it's backwards, that you can be 18 and buy a rifle, but you have to be 21 to buy a handgun.
Agreed.
That's kind of fucked up. That is kind of like I don't understand that reasoning. And
Part of it's hunting, I believe.
yeah,
That
how
is
many
one
people are
reason.
hunting now? You know
Well,
what I'm saying? How many people
we
are
live
out
in kind of one of those states where it's like that, but I think those other states that are, rural and a lot more, like Montana and all them type of places, it seems like that's where those people that's where that rule makes more sense.
Mm-hmm.
When you're living in the city and, when you're around a bunch of people daily
Yeah.
and, you're going to school with hundreds or thousands of people, it's different. Like the gravity of the situation, how many people are around in your everyday life definitely shapes you in a big way.
Mm-hmm.
That's my...
Yeah, this is like another another quandary in and of itself is, let's say that we do raise the age to 21. You have to be blanket, you have to be 21 regardless of any firearm whatsoever. If it has an upper and lower receiver and it can shoot some sort of bullet, you have to be 21. The only problem that I see is you can be 18 and you have to legally have to sign up to fight for your country. They can send you at any moment in time, but you're not going to be able to buy a gun to protect yourself at your own home. That's now where do we go from there? That's what I've always struggled with is if you take one thing away, there's always just another host of problems that come to. I mean, just take it, for example, with Canada and stuff. They freeze all the handguns.
Yeah, very, very interesting timing from Trudeau and the last, 6 months, everything that's going on there. Remember the trucker?
He's a dictator.
Protest?
I mean, straight up, this dude, locked his own people down,
Yeah.
froze those bank accounts of all the truckers. Now he's saying, oh, yeah, now you can't have guns and all this stuff. It's not only can people not, protect themselves or anything, but, imagine all the gun manufacturers that were
The
in Canada.
options are running out to defend yourself in Canada.
Yeah.
As the days go on,
Right.
they took away guns, like you said, bank. I mean, what's next? Are they going to take people's cars?
Right.
To drive? Right
Well,
to
if you got an
work?
electric, it's going to become
Yeah,
insane.
if you're not vaccinated, your right to work there. I mean,
Yeah.
they're nuts there, and it's
Yeah.
strange because they were always the more everyone talked about the more peaceful little brother of America. They never have anything crazy going
Yeah.
on.
I mean, I don't trust that guy.
No.
I trust him as far as I can throw him.
5 rounds in the rifle mag. They want to make that a rule.
I think, isn't California 10 max?
I think it's something like that.
Well, that makes sense.
We
It's
can check
California.
that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's insane to me.
5 is funny. That's
Yeah,
actually
that's
funny.
nothing.
That's like World War
You're-
One.
yeah. Yeah. We're going to have
1917
muskets
again.
with the little fucking ball in with all the gunpowder coming down. I mean, what is going on? I mean, that's my thing. It's and now, with the stuff that happened in Texas, those cops literally waited to go in there. So it's oh, well, you don't need guns because the police got them. No, they don't. I mean, when you're fucking sitting there and kids are getting slaughtered,
Yeah.
and you're just sitting there, yeah, I'm not trusting you. If again, I can only trust you as far as I can throw you, and I'm definitely not trusting these people whatsoever. And
Yeah.
that's the worst thing.
I have something from it's a Newsweek article about Australia. Were mass shootings ended in Australia by ending guns, right? And they had some mass shooting in the 90s. It was real bad.
Yeah.
And then they took most people's rifles, right? And then you got people arguing, is that true or false? And everyone's like, oh yeah, that's true. They have it nice there. But then what did you see in the last 2 years in Australia?
Mm-hmm.
They were one of the only countries that were sending people to camps, and they were in the streets protesting. They were getting
Yeah.
trampled, tear gas, this and that.
Mm-hmm.
And all them people, they weren't even allowed to leave, I think, for longer than an hour to a week their home. They had to have a reason to leave. It was either
Right.
grabbing food or going to work or something like that. There was no you could just go on a walk, you could go to the beach, this or that.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happens when you give up your weapons in that way. I mean, isn't that just common sense? A place that's historically been armed like that continent and Australia and Aboriginal people, British people. There's been Irish people there that fought the British there. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a rich history.
I want to get down
doesn't
to
make sense.
why do we have so many mass shootings though? I mean, why do we? Why do
Numbers.
people? You think it's just numbers?
I think it's partially numbers, and I do think the culture here is bad in a sense, especially for young people, but especially young dudes. In my opinion, yeah, for sure. People be hurting out here.
10-round mag limit in California, by the way.
10 rounds?
Yeah.
10 rounds. 10 rounds.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's
You
nuts.
could have a pistol more than that. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
I think we don't have a gun problem in the United States. We have a mental health problem in the
Yeah.
United States. There's too many people. It's all way too clustered. And look at
No
Twitter.
guidance.
look at Twitter. Look at social media.
Yeah,
Look
why
at
would
social
they get
media.
to shoot anyone and nothing's gonna happen?
How many of those shooters are on antidepressants and anti-anxiety medication?
Well, not
and
even
all
just
this stuff?
that. Literally look at social media. How many of these people on social media? It's like a trend to be depressed now.
Yeah.
Like it's cool if
Juice
you're.
WRLD,
You know what I mean?
Lil Peep,
Yeah.
those types.
Listen, and
I'm telling
don't
you.
get me wrong.
I
I
enjoy it.
love that type of music.
Yeah.
But like,
Can't listen to it every day.
Exactly,
every
every single
Where
day.
they talk about death
Ex-
and bad shit, right?
death, drugs, and
Yeah.
and just killing your things of that nature, bro.
Wake up
It's
tonight,
just
though.
not. It's not healthy for you, right? It's not good for your mental state. It puts you down in the
Agreed.
dumps, right? And then now this is exactly what you have every single day. It's
Oh,
just
and-
negativity, and you
Yeah.
feed off of that. And now you have negative energy coming into you. You're gonna pour
100%.
negative energy out of you,
Yeah.
right? And that's really what the problem is. Bro, I know so many people that are like, oh, I'm so depressed. Oh, I need antidepressants. Oh, I have anxiety.
Yeah.
Anxiety medication. Big Pharma doesn't help it.
I feel sad. Let's go
None
out
of that.
tonight. You know, let me go get hammered. But
Yeah, exactly.
on top of that, though, is the lockdowns, and I think that's a big reason for what
Well,
you're
yeah.
seeing right now. Everything's open finally, like full blast. People, these kids are 16, 18 years old doing this.
I mean, just think
So
like
these last few years have taken
Yeah.
a toll on them. 100%.
all the prices are rising. They put people in their houses. They said you couldn't go to the gym. They
Yeah.
said, oh, well, you can't go to grocery stores, so let's order Uber Eats and DoorDash and all this other
Schools
shit.
closed.
Schools closed, and all these kids are going to be learning online and stuff. They completely fucked the younger generation. And these people have no idea what our world's going to
Forced
be like.
mask all
And
day.
5 to 10. The mask, I mean, we're getting away from the gun shit, but the mask is so stupid to me. I just don't understand it, because if air can come in, air can come out. I'm not a scientist, but that just makes common sense to me. If they can come in, it can
There's
definitely come
been
out.
studies done. It's just unequivocal. But
Right.
the gun stuff with the mental health, I think it is definitely an argument. Everyone wants to shoot that argument down nowadays, but there is definitely something rotten. I mean, you coach, don't you coach young kids
Yeah.
for football?
Mhm.
And I mean, you kind of see how much it means. I feel like I have nephews and I have young kids, like, you know, I've dealt with, and it's like you kind of see how much like you mean to maybe someone like that. I'm telling you, those people matter.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I had so many good like young and old like men when I was younger, like be coaches, like mentors,
Mhm.
this and that. That shit's priceless.
Oh, yeah.
Like even like some of your family members, you know, your grandpa, your grandpa, your uncle, like my uncles, my dad, everybody, like
Yeah.
that knowledge is just crazy. And when you don't have like father figures, that's got to be the big one.
Oh, yeah. I mean, how many kids, like, from those places, like, come from, like, broken homes and stuff?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, this
One
is...
parent always working, they're always
Yeah.
left to their own devices, maybe they got some siblings, you know, stuff happens out here.
It's hard.
Definitely affects the way violence and stuff happens in this country for sure.
And especially when it's portrayed every single day.
Yeah.
And it's just pushed into your face.
Yeah.
I mean, now every time there's, like, a shooting, it just gets broadcasted to every single person who has a cell phone. But here's, like, what people don't understand, too, is, like, if you really trust the government to protect you at all costs, you are in a very bad spot, my friend. I cannot stress that enough. Like, if you trust these people 110% and you think everything that they're doing is in your best interest, my God, are you in the wrong place? You really are. I mean, these people, like, they try to get us into war with Cuba, try to get it with Russia, and all these places. It's like, it's just awful. And now you're going to turn over the right to defend yourself because of what? Because they said so? They said COVID was bad. It's really not. 99%, you know, survival rate. They told you all this stuff was bad, and it turns out to be not. But you're going to trust them with this? I
And
don't
the
think so.
cure, also a lie.
Yeah.
You know, the efficacy, I think, is the way you would say it.
I just don't trust them. Like, when they take stuff, they never give stuff up. Like, after, like, 9/11 and stuff, like the Patriot Act, they literally, it was just legislation to spy on every single person. Like, how many times has that act actually been used to prosecute terrorists and actual criminals outside of our jurisdiction? And how many of it was to actually get into people's phones to see if they were dealing drugs or not? Or doing shit online. That
Remember they
weren't
said
supposed
they were tracking people's movements during COVID to
Yeah.
see how they were complying,
Yeah.
this and that.
to. Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff's sketchy, and that's just another way they're snooping on you, and it's not even being effective either.
Mhm.
You
No,
know what
no,
I mean?
no.
They're using all the info and stuff they did, and it's still not working.
I mean, they push it. I think, like, this is, like, the grand scheme of things. They push it so hard to see how far they can push people into complying with all the mask mandates and all those compliances and stuff. And the only thing that really saves us is that the fact that there's more guns than there are people here. That's our saving grace. If they were to take all those away, it's not even, realistically, I don't think it's even possible.
No.
But that's our saving grace.
Yeah.
And they were like, and then some argument would be like, well, you know, the government has tanks, they have missiles,
Yeah.
stuff like that. It's like, we struggled in Vietnam.
We've
in the
watched
jungles and stuff.
insurgencies swamp our own military.
Yeah.
But it's not, they weren't on their home turf. That's also a big factor as well. And we
Mhm.
don't have the industry, but that's
Right.
another topic for another day.
Yeah. But do I really think, like, they're going to become tyrannical
No.
and, like, turn against us? No.
Anything's
but
possible.
But at the same time, anything is possible. And I'll be damned if the only thing I have to protect myself is a 10-round mag. Because I'm going to need a lot of them.
Speaking of the government's involvement in this, I was reading earlier about what the Second Amendment, says in our Constitution. And quote, it says, "A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed." And everyone, that last part, everyone argues and talks about that point especially. And I also seen something else in here that I thought was interesting. It said something about how it is specifically in place to guard against tyrannical government.
I mean, that's why it's number 2.
Yeah.
And for Joseph to say, "Oh, no Constitution to the Amendment is absolute."
Yeah.
Fuck him. I can't believe you would actually say it. I mean, it's bad enough you left all our military stuff in Afghanistan when you pulled out. You incompetent motherfucker.
Yeah.
But let alone you say something like that. Do women not have the right to vote?
Yeah.
Do we not have the right to a fair trial? Do we not have a right to,
those are in the
government?
first 10 Bill of Rights. Those are the most meaningful things in the entire thing. And another guy said, I asked her, what is the militia? It is the whole people, except for few public officials. And it says it specifically. And it also says, the Founding Fathers felt that the citizens should be able to protect themselves against the government and any other threat to their well-being or personal freedom.
Yeah.
So it's just funny. They're trying to muddy the original meaning of something that was so important to the people that founded this country. And you could argue what you want about the Founding Fathers and who they were and what they did, but the fact is they got these things right.
Yeah.
That's why they've lasted this long.
Right.
And once you give up that in the text or some of the wording, it all goes after that. Same with the statues.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
You let it go, it's gone. You can't get it back.
Right.
That's how it works.
Yeah, I think it's like, what scares me the most is like people will be so quick to, oh, well, just take them away. We don't need them. Just take them away. Take them away. Take them away. It's like, well, not only are you just going to take away the only mean of protection that you're really going to have now, but it's like they're going to know everything about you. They know where you're at. We all have social security
numbers. Are criminals
numbers.
giving them up? You think in the gun drives, the criminals are just giving them up? People that are, in
selling
gangs,
heroin is illegal. People still do it. Selling cocaine is illegal, but people still do it.
Yeah.
Especially the government.
Yeah.
But that's another topic for another day, But I really don't get it. I really don't. And I understand, when you see stuff like what happened in Texas and all these places, that's awful.
Yeah, we have hearts. It doesn't, it's not like it doesn't matter to us. It's just the fact that they're going to use these emotional events to kind of manipulate people, especially weaker people, to give in. And you see people giving in their guns to the police department. I'm sorry. I think that is, hilarious. I think that is, that's absolutely crazy, in my opinion.
Right.
There was a scheme these kids did a few years ago. They're making makeshift, shotguns, and I think there's just some parameter the police department puts out that technically counts as a gun, and they were getting hundreds of dollars from the police station for these bullshit guns they were building. I thought that was hilarious.
What I start to question too is what's the role that 3D guns is going to play in this now? Because let's just say we'll shut down Ruger, we'll shut down Smith & Wesson, we'll shut down all these places and stuff, but if you got a 3D printer, you can basically build anything you want. So how do you stop that?
How big is the 3D printer?
I mean,
are they heavy?
I don't know.
Depends on what size you get and depends.
I would imagine 10, 15 pounds, maybe 20 if you're getting a big one.
Oh, I thought they were big, like
industrial thing. I'm sure you can get some industrial ones.
They have huge ones.
Oh, but then they have smaller ones that also can do it.
Yeah.
You think those smaller ones can do?
Yeah, you just make it piece by piece.
Oh wow.
It's
I'm not aware.
It's like a Lego at that point.
Nice.
Let me ask you this: what's or for everyone, what's the possibility that all this stuff is false flags? What's the possibility of that? That this is they're doing this shit on purpose.
I think
if you look at the guy, this kid in Texas is 18. He has rifles. Doesn't have a job.
$1,000.
Doesn't have a job.
1,000 bullets. That's a lot of money.
Doing what?
He worked at Wendy's.
Wendy's. I mean, maybe it's possible.
That
I'm not
pandemic pay was hitting.
Thanks, Joseph. Thanks, Trump. Thanks, everyone who made it happen. But all I'm saying is, it's a little bit fishy.
Most of these shooters too have a lot of the stuff from the stocks to the mags to the bullets to the fucking even
it's legit
armor.
Stuff, right?
Yeah,
it's always
armor,
nice
the body
gear.
armor. That's
dude, it would have cost thousands of dollars.
But the things that they have, that's shit that they're trying to regulate. Why are you trying to regulate a body armor?
These sickos
That's what I'm saying.
These sickos be researching.
Can you harm someone with that?
Yeah.
That's self-defense.
Yeah. You know what's more harmful? All these pharmaceutical drugs that they want to put in your body. but you're telling me I can't have a Kevlar vest? Go
Exactly,
fuck
bro.
yourself, dude. Are you kidding
You're
me?
fucking dick.
Go fuck yourself. I can have a Kevlar vest, but you can shoot me up without anything you want.
That's
Sorry.
just wild.
You're your own guinea pig. I'll believe it when I see it. You know what the best thing about these two? All these politicians will still have armed security detail. Joseph will have one. All these people will have
If
one.
not more.
And the celebrities, that pisses me off the most when they say, "Oh, well, we got to change the culture," or like LeBron, for example. Okay, LeBron,
You know,
go into a random place without your security detail. Let's see how safe you feel. Don't pack anything either. You know, just go up.
you know what
I'm
I,
sure you'll be okay.
You know what I'm thinking about right now too? When the Capitol was getting rushed,
Mm-hmm.
did you? I didn't see a lot of guns from that crowd. I'm sure there were, but do you remember seeing a lot like guys with rifles and stuff?
And
I don't remember seeing. I
on
feel like
January
if there were,
6th,
there would have been
yeah.
more of a conflict.
on the January
But I don't
6th,
think you can get guns into DC as easy.
no,
it's kind of hard.
DC's locked down. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
All of them are down here.
Oh yeah.
I'm
They
not
got
saying
fences
I'm not
up,
saying I'm not
this
calling
and
for
that.
like those people to get assassinated by any
No.
means, but do most of those people in there deserve to get their fucking ass beat? Of course. These
Yeah.
people are trading stocks while they're in office. They're sending money overseas. All of them are just as guilty as Joseph is. All of them. And yeah, I think they deserve to get their ass
He
beat.
calls him
I really do.
Joseph.
Yeah, it's not President Biden, it's Joseph. It feels better, you know? But I mean, that shit just infuriates me. It's like, it's rules for thee, but not for me.
Yeah.
That's what it
That's
is.
the best way to put it.
Yeah. Because you're going to give away guns, so
How many congressmen carried guns and were carrying guns that day on the Capitol? I remember reading stories
Yeah.
and seeing stories about that as well.
and I
But
think they should. I think they should.
There was an instance I think in the 1800s where they had a shootout in Congress.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Like, and then they had to ban guns.
Yep.
And then that's why it's like a real like taboo thing now, because like literally the two sides shot at each other. So they
Yeah.
had
I mean,
tampered.
I don't know. I could go either way. Like, I understand, like,
Arguments.
you could definitely have one for your own self because you are a congressman or a congresswoman, a senator.
You're one of the highest.
Like, you have a
offices and
target on
laws
your
in the
back.
land.
You have a target
I'd
on
be
your back.
carrying. Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'd have a vest on under my suit, too,
Oh yeah.
every single day. I'm a target.
You a walking duck in DC.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Everyone's got to go to their office.
Mhm.
Everyone's got to go.
Mhm.
Everyone knows.
Right.
That's the thing about it.
Yeah. I think they're just going to create more and more hysteria. I mean, it's just divide and conquer. Get people on both sides to go crazy on one another and let them fight it out. Because I think that's what's going to happen.
There's push and pull that could be had, but you can't have it your way either way. You can't have it all your way.
Mhm.
There's gonna have to be some middle ground.
I mean, my fairest compromise is raise the age to 21. After that, I
What
think you
else
should.
can you do?
Nothing. You can't do anything.
No.
Are you going to sue the gun manufacturers? What's like if I go hit someone with my car, can I go sue GM?
Dudes who
You
go
know what
off
I'm saying?
with
Like-
pistols and kill 50, 100 people, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, man. Like, it doesn't matter.
The fact that they're going in there with rifles is just how sick they are.
Yeah.
When you think about it,
Right.
dudes are going in there with like
Yeah.
whatever weapons of war, if you want to call it that. I mean, they really are, and
Mhm.
it's just little kids.
Mhm.
So I see it that way. That is unfortunate. It's like one of the worst things of all time.
But you know what the worst thing about it
It's
is
gonna
like
happen.
you're only going to punish people that are like in reality law-abiding citizens. That's it. And like even if they were to institute like red flag laws, like that could get.
People are
That's a
targeted.
slippery slope.
Yeah, I was talking about that with my dad, I think, the other day, and we were talking about how people use that like against people they don't like,
Yeah.
or people that they're in some abusive relationship with, or this
Mhm.
and that. And some of that could probably be good, but it's like it's just a slippery slope. Once you do stuff like that, I don't know, opens a whole Pandora's box.
Mm-hmm.
It's just an interesting thing.
I
So-
really have 2 points. 1 point, once you give the government some type of your freedom, they'll never give it back.
Mm-mm.
Ever in a million years.
Mm-mm.
Right.
I mean,
Two.
just like to even get back alcohol prohibition, they had to make another amendment.
Another amendment. Just
It's
to do
never
it.
And
gonna
that was
Right?
very unpopular.
Yeah.
Yeah, very.
From the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and that lasted years.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then 2, right? You start taking away people's freedoms and you say that the Second Amendment is not absolute. What
Yeah.
does that mean? How deep are you willing to go? You
Any
take
amendment
away,
can change
you know what
it.
I mean? You take away, which doesn't, here's the thing, we all know that, but that just doesn't need to be said. You don't need to say that.
No.
That's crazy. Like, that's different.
Especially
like,
from the president
You know what
of
I
the
mean?
United States.
yeah, exactly. What's
You
understood does not need to
Yes.
be
Inalienable rights.
No.
You
Inalienable.
took
So-
an oath to protect the Constitution. Now you're telling me that the Constitution isn't absolute?
Yeah.
You're a fucking dictator, bro. I don't give a fuck what
Yeah.
you say. You'll never be President Biden to me. You're Joseph. You're just a regular human being like me and you.
So my real point there, right, is if you take away the guns from citizens, say they do abolish the Second Amendment, right?
We're going to war.
Yes, but you can't stop criminals from getting guns. You can't stop people from. The black market's still a thing. People are gonna get guns.
It's like
There's
pot.
so many
It's like
guns.
heroin.
Yeah,
It's like anything
it's
else.
like the prohibition. They
Yeah.
still found a
Alcohol.
way.
Yeah.
They still found a way.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. They will still find a way.
And so would we
Criminals
to get
and
whatever it
mentally
is.
ill people will still find a way to get guns and will still find a way to kill
Well,
people.
look at prison.
Yeah.
You do
Yeah.
this shit all the time.
That's a good example, Mike. Prison.
Still find a way to get things in
They
there.
get cell phones, they get weapons, they get
Yeah.
drugs, they get whatever the
Whatever
hell.
the hell they want.
Yeah.
And I think there
Whatever
needs to
the
be
hell
like a bigger emphasis on like, mental health and stuff like that. But the question is like, what's the role of government to do that? And especially the federal government. This is what people don't realize. Like, when the founding fathers like wanted to start this whole thing, they didn't want the federal government to have one centralized power. They wanted everything to be distributed across the states equally. Hence why we had the 10th Amendment.
Limited government.
Limited government, and mostly the limited federal government. They it's especially through they try to take away gold from people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They try to do that. They can almost do anything they want, and that's what scares me the most. Because we're like one of the youngest nations, and we've never. I mean, other than like Civil War and other conflicts and stuff, like we're still here. You know, every other place
Time's
is fallen.
ticking though. 250 years, just making it past that point. But the thing about it is with these school shooters and mentally ill people like that, they already knew he had made threats. A lot of them remember these stories for all these shooters. It's like, oh, the FBI was aware. Oh, they were monitoring. They were
I
watching
don't trust
this and
them.
that. The thing about it
don't
is,
fucking trust them.
should you be able to preemptively lock someone up if that's what they're damn near like destined and already trying to do? In my opinion, I think you should be able to lock people like that up. I don't know how the hell you would do it or what precedent it would set, but dude, when you know people are just gonna like literally commit like massacres, they had a problem with that in England, bro. They had guys that were literally on the streets, like downtown London, downtown Birmingham, these cities, and bro, they're chanting ISIS chants, they're wearing the all black, they're talking about beheading people, this and that, and then, security services is watching them, right?
Yeah.
They're watching all of them, right?
Right.
They all slip off to like fucking Syria, Iraq, and then they go and do these terrible ass things, and it's like, yeah, they were being monitored. How close?
Yeah.
I guess they could fly out and go there, and then they weren't allowed back, obviously, but maybe they could have made their way back. Who the hell knows?
But do you think that doesn't play into the whole conspiracy thing? If these people can off rip know, okay, well, we've been watching this guy. He's been saying all this kind of crazy stuff online. We're seeing what he's buying and stuff like that, but we don't choose to do anything.
Right, let's see what experiment we're
Yeah,
running
man.
tight. Yeah, and how about that Buffalo one, for instance? They had an ATF agent, a retired ATF, or some federal agent that I think was keeping in contact with them, or, like was monitoring them still, like kind of like keeping a tab on them, and like he kind of like knew about it.
Right.
I just don't understand.
That's
like,
the great thing. Like, we'll
it
never
just
know.
doesn't make
We'll
sense,
never know. But
dude.
you know what I do know is mostly every government that has taken away firearms from their citizens has ended up either getting slaughtered or enslaved. You can look at Pol Pot in Cambodia. You can look at Hitler in Nazi Germany.
Stalin.
You can look at Stalin in the
Mao.
USSR. Mao. All these people.
Castro.
All of these people.
Yeah.
And what did they do? They turned against their own citizens. And they turned into dictators. They're going to give so much power to these people in Congress and the presidency, all that stuff. They're going to give them so much power, the states' rights wouldn't even... Take this, for example. People were so outraged over Roe v. Wade. And all that they did in the ruling was give states the rights to decide what they want for their own thing. That's how it should be. The federal government should not tell you what you can and cannot do with your body.
People
Like,
don't
I'm very
even know that,
pro-choice.
though.
Like, I'm very pro-choice, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have no problem if you want to get an abortion. I do think it's a little sketchy once you get to, like, the third trimester, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, if you want to split your tongue in half, go do it. If you want to get a tattoo all over your body and stuff, go ahead and do that. You want to get an abortion, I could give 2 fucks. Because any limit that you put on someone's own self-autonomy is one step closer to a dictatorship and enslavement. And when you start down that path, there's no way of going back. There's just no way.
You choose.
You choose.
You know what I mean?
And speaking of you choose, let's all bank. We got fire giveaways coming up. Mike, tell them what this month's going to be. I think we should tell the people. Let's see if they're listening in.
I believe it's, what is it, $50 grocery card?
Yeah.
Yep.
We're giving
$50 grocery card.
Yeah, we're giving away
Nice.
grocery
Yeah.
money for this month.
What was that cool coin y'all had?
That was a Pac-Man coin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was.
That's
cool.
an ounce of silver.
I seen that.
That's an ounce of silver.
Oh, okay, that was sweet. I
Yeah.
seen that. I was wondering. I couldn't tell what it was like in the picture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
Pac-Man.
literally
Okay.
Pac-Man's mouth. Or
Yeah.
whatever you want to call that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen it was like a certain.
Mm-hmm.
So that reads.
Which reminds me, you have to do your push-ups today. Mark them. So I think you should drop and give us 10.
Give us
I'll
10 for
give
the
you
show.
10 right
Yeah,
now.
mid- us 10 for the show.
mid-pod.
Yeah, but then I'm not posting.
Huh?
I'm not posting it.
Okay, it's for
We'll
us.
take it. Someone will take a video.
Yeah, Mike,
No,
take a
it's
video
not
of him.
taking a video.
We're taking a quick
It's
minute
not
break.
taking a video.
Mergham's got to get his push-ups in for the fitness accountability. That's it. And then we'll go back to our talk.
1,
Nice and slow, too.
2.
Yeah.
3.
Count for every 3. Yeah, do some diamonds, bud.
Oh, no chance. There you go.
I didn't see what I mean. So, yeah. Visit letsallbank.com. Sign up. A lot of good giveaways coming up, especially in the month following and in August. Stay tuned. So going back to the guns, what do you think? Overall judgment on it. Do you think we're on the right path or we're going down the wrong path?
I think we're fortunate enough to live in a state where people have sense, and people can argue either way about DeWine's new law with the open carry, but that's how the Constitution actually is meant to be all these years. And I think states that have had it these last years or couple months, I don't think they've had any spike in crazy amounts of crimes. I think actually it's making cops be more like vigilant on traffic stops and stuff like that, and the cops actually have to ask you about the weapon. You don't have to just be forthcoming about it, which people say that's dangerous to cops, and I can agree with that as well. Like if I was a cop, I'd be thinking about that. But also if I was a cop, I'm not going to be maybe pressing guys like I used to.
Yeah.
And I think that's actually kind of going to defeat
Like
a lot of the confrontation, because at that point, bro, these police departments and cops, bro, they might be held liable in some sense in the future due to that law.
Yeah.
I think that's what this is kind of creating. They want to stop the police like shooting. They want to get on top of
Self-accountability.
it. Yes. That's
I think it's
opinion.
going to be a deterring factor. If you're going to Ohio and you're going to try to shoot something up in Ohio, just know a lot of people are going to be packing that.
Dude,
you
how
did not know before.
how many people we know strapped? Like
Yeah.
most people we know, like and hanging around and this and that really are, and like that goes across all background beliefs, this and that. Like people are strapped.
Yeah.
Like you ask people in Ohio how they feel about guns, you're gonna get like I'd say unanimous. Like and we live near the city. I mean, you'll ask some people, I'm sure they disagree. I have family that disagree with what I'm saying right now, but you're going to find a lot of gun fans, Second Amendment fans. I see people's stickers all the time. How many veterans I see on the roads, how many, the little decals on the license.
And that's going to be like another thing. You're really going to take guns away from veterans? If that comes to it?
Yeah.
Really? I don't know.
You think a veteran's giving up his guns? Let's talk about that.
Yeah. No chance.
No chance.
So like if they
a trained person,
if they're not going to give them up, they have obviously all the training and stuff. But I'm just a regular guy. I just want to make sure my house doesn't get invaded at night. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to be able to protect myself, my land, and my family. That's all I want to do. I'm not going to go shoot something up. I'm not crazy like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to do anything remotely like that. I just want to be able to protect myself and the people that I care about. But they're going to make that impossible. And that's the downfall.
I just don't think they're gonna go as far as Canada. I think the uproar would be just so crazy, and I bet people would start planning like marches, like this and that. I just don't think they would be ready for that, because you've seen how people reacted over abortion, and that's just mainly like young people and women, and not to say but when you get men and armed people incensed, they're gonna fucking show up on your doorstep.
Yeah.
Like that's just how it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I don't think
they don't play.
I really don't think any politician will put that there, because most people, I mean, they might show polls that might say that I'm wrong or something, but I think at their core, people are inherently distrustful of the government, and people want to protect themselves, regardless of what background you're from, what political ideology you align yourself with.
They want to protect their families.
Yeah.
And like you said, their land, whatever they got, their car, this and that. But who has constitutional carry around us? Tennessee?
There's like 23 states.
Oh, there's 23? I think we read on that last episode. Yeah, and I remember we were reading through them as a lot of red conservative states, but it's like, I think So are you good to travel to another state that's constitutional carry?
Yeah,
Like
I think so.
that's how it works.
I think
Oh,
so.
so if you border a bunch of good things, you're good.
Maybe I'm
Like
not sure.
states- Yeah,
You might need a CCW.
yeah.
you might.
have to look that up.
That'd be interesting to see.
I
Yeah.
assume you would still need a CCW.
I think so. Do you think it's gonna be
We
good
can
to
look it
get?
up, but I'd assume.
Do you think it's gonna be valuable to still have a CCW and then carry like just freely, or do you think you should just?
I do. I think the CCW still has its role, and I think that's why they're keeping it.
I think that's why it has, because I think you do still need to have a CCW to go into specific states. But like say like certain states are only good in other states for the CCW. Like
Yeah, they're
Ohio,
not all retroactive.
Not
Right.
every single. You know what I mean? So like
it's not
I've
all
seen that.
But if you-
reciprocity. Like it's not good in
Yeah.
New York and it's not good in
if
Illinois.
you get a concealed carry in like there's certain specific states. I think there's
Yeah.
like 3 states that you get in.
Yeah.
It covers the entire United States.
yeah.
So
Under such agreements, Ohio and other states agree to respect each other's concealed carry laws and recognize each other's permit holders.
And that's how America should work. Like
yeah,
we're Ohio.
you can't just
If I look
openly
at-
carry in every
yeah.
state though.
No.
That's tripping.
You know what's crazy though? It's like
Cross state
if
lines.
I were to
One
like
day.
if I were to drive by someone and they were just like mowing their lawn with like an AR-15 on their back just strapped. Okay, that might be a little crazy to me. But at the same time, who am I to judge?
Wild West, everyone had guns, walking around, and
Yeah.
yeah, there was chaos, but also there was, in a sense, like
There's chaos now.
Yeah. What's
There's
the
chaos
difference?
now. People are
What's the difference?
tweaking out of how much gas is, how much food costs.
Yeah.
Everything's going up, and we're not gonna do anything about it. I mean, come on, like it's scary
Yeah,
times.
I saw something about Joseph saying that.
Yeah.
That,
Oh, it's not gonna change in the.
Yeah.
snap of
You
a
can't just
finger.
hit a button, but yeah, I mean you could.
The Federal Reserve hits a
you know
button.
what? You know what button you could hit? You could hit the button to start the Keystone Pipeline back up, and maybe we would be
And-
perfectly fine.
And
to
give
be
them those
honest
leases
with you.
back.
You know what I mean?
So I could buy
So-
some guns and
Those
Yeah.
are the best
gas.
people that. Oh, the president doesn't control gas prices.
Yeah, you know.
Are you
great.
shitting me?
Like,
Yeah.
We have the biggest army in the earth. Of
Dude.
course we control gas prices.
dude literally fucked us. So I
Like, are
mean,
you stupid?
Mhm. But you know what? I will give him credit. He had that BTS group in the White House.
Oh,
So I'll give him
God
credit.
bless. They're popular. Oh,
Yeah?
God. Great
South
art.
Koreans, yeah.
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 No, they are dope. Like, no lie. But, like, I don't care.
I honestly don't listen to their music. I'm sure they're great people, but
Yeah.
is that what Joseph really needs to be worried about right now? I don't think so.
Get Addison Ray in there. Maybe we'll solve
Like,
the 100.
They
Yeah.
ostracized Trump for going and golfing and stuff like that. I understand. Maybe you probably shouldn't be golfing when you're president. I think you could take
He
a
golfed
4 year.
Now watch this drive.
Yeah, now watch this drive. Your favorite president, by the way.
My favorite president was
Yeah.
George Bush.
Yeah.
And we will discuss that.
Yeah, that explains a lot. But it's like, so he gets ostracized for that, but this even, he just has like Korean pop group when people are literally going crazy here.
Dude, I think the whole DC could be burning, and if he was in the White House, like doing some type of photo op or that,
Oh, he would think it's a fire-
that weird studio that they be in.
Yeah,
that's
he would
not
think it's
the
a
White
campfire
House.
out. You can't.
They
look at-
wouldn't know. They wouldn't know.
That makes me so pissed because when I look at this dude and I try to watch his speeches, it literally infuriates me because that man is not 100% upstairs. Like all the marbles are not going.
You
know?
could have COVID and go up there to the podium, and you'd do better than him.
Yeah.
I put all the money in the world on
Mhm.
it. That's how
He
bad
is not
it is.
100% upstairs. He's not. I don't care what anyone says.
You think
He's
he's
had
ever
open-
shot a gun?
Yeah, probably.
I was thinking that yesterday. Like,
I think he is.
You think? I want to
Yeah.
see if there's.
What
like, a
state is he
picture
from?
of it.
Delaware?
Yeah.
There's potential. There's potential. I mean, his
No,
son.
no, he's from
I
Scranton.
mean, his son can smoke
No, no,
crack,
he's
so I
from
think he
Scranton,
can fire a gun.
Pennsylvania, I think. Or like
I'm
New
pretty
Jersey.
sure he's still.
I
They
don't-
live
yeah.
in Delaware. Look it up. Maybe
Yeah,
I'm wrong.
he's from Delaware.
I thought it was Scranton, Pennsylvania. He always said I'm from Scranton.
He says that?
I'm pretty sure he said that.
I think he's from Delaware.
I think he's from.
I know they
he
live in
ran-
Delaware.
He ran in Delaware.
And he went to Delaware State or something like
he
Oh,
actually-
graduated the last of his
He
class. Trump
actually
reminded me
is
of
from Scranton, so
Pennsylvania?
that. Yeah, I
He
told
is.
you. But that's all the way right next to it, I think.
Oh, is
I
it?
think it's like, yeah, it's
I'm
like,
not
it's
hip to
over
the
near that.
Pennsylvania
Am
geography.
I correct? It's near
Oh, he's
like
79.
Delaware. and shit.
He's 79. Oh my god. Man. How can you look at someone and be 80 years old and be like, yeah, that's the guy I want to have the nuclear codes? He's okay upstairs. This dude can get Social Security, ARP card, everything. So you're going to trust him with it? No, I don't think so. If you can have minimums to be a senator and a House rep, you need to have maximum. You need to. Because those people, when you get to that far, that stage in the game, all bets are off. You're not trying to serve me anymore. You know, and they proved that when they sent $40 billion to your favorite country. They proved that to me. They don't have our best interests at heart. You're telling me you can't lower the gas price or give subsidies to these oil companies?
Why do we arm every other nation but not our own?
Well,
Free gun giveaways in Kiev, Afghanistan. We
that was
gave
the best
them
tweet I've
hundreds
seen.
of billions.
When the Occupy Democrats were like, oh, the Twitter handle,
Yeah.
were like, oh, you know, they're giving out guns in the streets of Kyiv for all their citizens. Retweet if you agree. But then in the next thing you're saying, oh, we can't have guns here. Are you serious? Like, that's liberal logic at its best. It really is. That is insane to me.
That was comedy.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
That was
I
comedy.
and
And
really,
they weren't handing out, like, well, we're not even actually allowed to have what they were handing out there. You see what they were handing out there? They were handing out, like, AKs, M4s.
Fully automatic.
Oh, yes.
I will say, I think
50
I don't think we
cals.
should have fully automatic weapons because I think my finger's going to go pretty fast.
Nobody needs fully automatic,
No.
especially someone untrained. It's from
Mhm.
what I got from shooters and military people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they say it's not as accurate, but it
Yeah.
depends what you're doing,
Yeah.
I'm sure, and what situation.
Well, I
you're
think
in.
you can get one if you have the federal license.
Yeah, you got to have
But
the
here,
probably.
and that goes into another
Series
thing.
3
When
or
you have a
whatever.
gun registry, oh man, that's another group of problems because now they know. Now they really know.
What's that?
Like a national gun registry, like
Oh,
Alex on
list
at this
list,
street,
yeah.
at this address, in this state has
Yeah.
this weapon and all this stuff.
You ever seen Red Dawn?
Of course.
Okay, so the original one though.
I haven't seen the original.
Oh,
I've
you
seen
see a new one. New one's cool, but the original's goated. Like Patrick
Yeah.
Swayze, Charlie Sheen, this
Yeah.
and that. So the Russians, they go to the sporting goods store
Mhm.
in their small town, and the
Mhm.
sporting goods store kept a ledger of everyone who bought guns there.
Oh.
Because you would only go
Yeah.
there. You're some town in the
Mhm.
middle of nowhere. It's like some
Yeah, yeah.
outdoor store. So they went to everyone's house, and that's how they got people's family. But that's what they said in the movie. I always remembered that.
You think that could happen?
The FBI already. I think the FBI and all them already have lists every time we.
No,
do
I'm
our
talking
guns.
about like if we got invaded.
What?
Do you think we could get invaded?
I think if you get people sensitive info, and if China or somebody very powerful that meets our capabilities or our country, they could get our info.
What country are you most scared of to
No,
go to war with?
No.
I mean, I'm not scared of no one, but
No.
I'm worried about China.
It's
They got a lot of people. That's numbers game.
numbers game.
Yeah, they got a lot of crazy.
A lot of
people.
them
Sure.
would die though. A lot of them would die compared to ours. Like the ratios would be crazy. Like the shit you see in Ukraine and Russia right now.
Yeah.
Just imagine us versus Russia right now. Like no nukes involved.
Well, I think we would
Just
last
imagine
Russia.
we would
I think
mop
we would.
them. We
I
would
think we
mop
would.
them. 100%.
Yeah.
But
If they invaded Alaska, would you go up? That's what,
Alaska,
yeah. Think
I guess.
I would. I think I would.
We gonna drive. We gonna drive there.
Yeah, we can carpool.
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta save the environment. Remember?
We
Yeah,
just we get passed through the fucking territory.
In my electric
Pretty-
car.
Pretty sure the three biggest polluters of the entire world are Russia, India, and China, and I'm pretty sure they all back each other.
Yeah.
And that's a numbers game.
Yeah.
So what I'm more afraid of is authoritarian regimes and crazy countries like that will all band together, and then they know they have numbers, so they can just throw bodies at the wind and just say fuck it.
Canada,
You know what I
Canada,
mean?
and China
It's
have
scary.
strange
You-
ties.
You know what I mean?
They have some weird things that go
You know
on
what
there
I
with
mean?
real estate.
You know what I mean? So that all scares the absolute living shit of me. Not to mention that we're literally in China's back pocket. So I mean, yeah, it's scary shit to be honest with you. More just not really one individual country, more of just all those types of countries just banding together and declaring U.S.
You think we'll
and
see it in our
NATO-
lifetime?
In NATO, yeah, 100%.
Everyone could
110%.
Let's say hypothetically, we all
every
live to 100.
generation before us has seen some type of war.
Yeah.
Every generation. So and realistically, I guess you could say Afghanistan for us and
Every
Iraq.
20 years,
yeah,
learn
or
something.
Korean War, but I mean, you could say that shit. But
Oh,
like,
false flags.
we were all.
Let's call them what
for
they are.
that. You know what I mean?
They're false
Well, they
flags.
were all false. flags.
I mean,
Yeah,
oh yeah, Gulf of
exactly.
Tonkin. This is
Yeah.
what this is like the main point I'm trying to drive. These people, and when I say these people, I mean the government officials. These people try to get us to go into Cuba, the Operation Northwoods. They gave LSD to a whole bunch of people in MK Ultra. They tried to get us into Vietnam, and it worked with the Gulf of Tonkin. They tried to do all this shit, and now you're telling me that somehow they miraculously just were like, okay, we're gonna be good people
It's
now.
all experiments.
It's bullshit. Kennedy getting assassinated. One of the most well liked liberal, democratic, however you want to frame
Young.
it, presidents young guy, Christian, everything that you would want at that time, what society wanted, goes to Dallas, Texas. Texas.
Strange things
The
happen.
Republican
down in Texas.
stronghold in the United States in a lowrider going through downtown square. Are you fucking kidding me? It's like a movie. It's like you can't write anything better than that. And I wonder what's going to happen, man. I really do.
I have a crazy story. I met a draft dodger at work yesterday.
Really?
I had a full-on conversation with him. He obviously dodged the Vietnam War.
You go to
Yeah.
Canada?
No.
Gillisper?
Yeah, I don't know. He didn't exactly say what he did, but
He's never going
he
to.
just said word for word, "I'm a draft dodger," and I was like, "That's lit." Okay,
That's
not
kinda-
necessarily lit, but like here,
Noted.
this is you know what I mean. This is how I feel about it. I'm
About
not
draft dodger?
going. I'm not necessarily. Listen, if it is war on soil, it's fucking war.
Oh, yeah,
Let's
I'm
go.
going.
Back to the question he asked earlier, Alaska, boots on the ground, fucking carpool, let's fucking go. I'm 120 miles per hour. 140.
We get there in a
pedal
minute.
He's gonna blow that into that bad
pedal
time.
to the ground, right? But
Right,
am
right,
I
bring your
going to
snow
go
up.
fight a proxy war in another country for John Saggy Balls in the Oval Office? Fuck no. They can go fuck themselves. Seriously, they really can't, because it's just, no, I'm not doing that. But
So
I
it's
will,
got to pertain
I'll
to you
protect
and
my
your
own.
country.
I will protect
Yeah.
my own. I
I'm
bleed red, white, and blue, baby. But I'm not going.
That's
over,
why we have a
I'm not
Congress
going
to vote on that.
And not even just that.
Oh, great.
People don't want to talk about it. Well, when you've grown up, right? You know Vietnam Wars, Vietnam people, right? You talk to an old vet, you're not supposed to talk about that war, right? You're
Yeah.
never supposed to talk. That's
It's taboo.
like taboo.
Dude,
as
they were
fuck,
treated
right?
like shit when they
like
came back.
shit, spit on,
Yeah.
all
My
this,
uncle has
bro,
stories.
all
man.
this shit,
Yeah.
right? But
Dog shit thrown at
that's an instance what I'm talking about though. They went and fought a proxy war in the jungle.
Yeah, no thanks for it too.
And no thanks, and motherfuckers got slaughtered.
Yeah.
Slaughtered by
Yeah.
by the thousands, hundreds of thousands. And it's crazy to me that people think that it's a good idea to invade another country. That's different. You're on somebody else's soil.
Even Iraq was a
You
disaster.
know what I mean? You're in somebody
reason.
else's. You're in somebody else's soil.
Yeah, you're in a different ballpark, bud.
So like,
You're not on home soil.
It'd be
That's
like
why-
them coming here. We
exactly,
fuck them
we
up.
fuck 'em up.
They could fuck us up, but we're gonna fuck them up. Like,
I mean,
you know
we
what I mean?
it really just depends on what the hell we're bringing, because I mean, you know,
Oh, we got something.
We got
We have more naval
we-
carriers than any other country.
we pour the most money into our military than
Yeah.
any other country.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you know we got some crazy shit up our
And
sleeves,
listen,
right?
100%, I have no problem spending money on military stuff. But when
We-
they try
we
to,
need to cut
when
back.
they try to, yeah, maybe. But when they, it's not necessarily cutting back. I think it's
I think it
mismanagement
needs
of
to,
funds.
exactly. It needs to not.
They don't need to be
That's what I
taught
mean.
about like LGBT. I'm sorry, like if you're gay, whatever, that's fine with me. I don't care who you go to bed with at night. I don't care what knee you get down and what deity you pray to. But when you're talking about trained killers and they have to be nice to everyone, sorry, I don't think so, man. Like you need to be a killer at all costs. Like you need to learn not to die, keep yourself alive, and to kill other people at a maximum rate.
Let's be realistic though. Like, not even knocking any like current military members or former or whatever, but like our best and brightest going in the military, I think for a long time, the answer's been no. You know what I mean? Like, not to knock anybody. It's just it's a fact. Like most people, they go into like business and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that, like these smart or like even athletic. Like
Mhm.
people shy away from the military now. It's not
Mhm.
like we know a lot of people though. From where
Yeah.
we're from, we got a lot of people that serve.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like, you know, salute them. But like, it seems like if you really turn to America and we put our best at everything that way,
Mhm.
oh yeah, it'd be game over. But you see what they do now. They nerf them, bro. They do all that political what's it called, correctness, like training.
Yeah,
They have all those seminars. You seen what they put
Mhm.
out today about Pride Month,
yeah.
this and that. I mean, bro, our military is meant to fight wars
Yeah.
and win them. But they're so off that topic now.
Then that's the
it's
thing. It's
crazy.
like if you're a straight up trained killer, and you can do it. I don't care who you go to bed with at night, what gender you think you are at any given time. I don't really care.
Yeah,
But if you could
I
shoot
don't
a gun
give a fuck.
and you can knock someone's head off from a couple 100 yards away, we'll take you, bud.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
We don't give a
Gladly.
fuck what you are.
That's fine
In
with
your
me.
spare time,
Yeah.
when you put the stripes on,
Yeah,
just
I'm
fucking go
Team
to war.
America.
Right.
That's my tribe. I am Team
Right.
America. That's it. That's it.
God bless the USA.
God bless.
We appreciate everyone that is tuned in tonight.
Mhm.
Thank you for listening to Let's All Talk. We'll be back shortly.
Yep. Let us know what we got to talk about next. What political, geopolitical topic we need to discuss.